Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to After the Evil, an Ash vs. Evil Dead live stream. Now tonight we are going to discuss The Evil Dead Part 2. This one right here. Now before we start, Sundays belong to Ash. So Ash vs. Evil Dead live streams are every single Sunday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can also join me in the Facebook group, Ash vs. Evil Dead Junkies. Link is in the description. Well, it will be once this has processed. And if you want to help my channel, since YouTube has cut off my advertising balls, please donate to my Patreon and you're going to be rewarded for your kindness. And when Season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead start, I'm going to be doing an after show again. And I'm going to be giving away Season 1 or Season 2 as the prize. Hey everybody, good to have you here. So, I am so excited about this stream because we're going to talk about The Evil Dead 2. And I have been keeping myself occupied during the hurricane. As most of you know, I am in Texas, and but I'm so far inland though. Everybody keeps asking if I'm okay. Absolutely, guys, you were all so sweet. I am perfectly safe. Don't worry, I had a whole bunch of Bywater, popcorn, and Evil Dead flicks. So, absolutely, I'm perfectly fine. So if you guys are loving the streams and you're enjoying all this, please thumb up the stream. I would appreciate it. And tomorrow is also murderous. So, no, Allie, sorry, that's on Wednesdays. Today is the Evil Dead talk. So Mondays are always murder on my channel. I always highlight an unsolved murder or crime or disappearance. And tomorrow I highlight who took Jesse Shockley. So that is tomorrow morning. As usual, Mondays are murder. I'm in Season 1 and there's 2 more episodes left of this season and then I break and before I move into Season 2. So I'm really hoping that these videos help solve these cases in any way. So, don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, please give it a like and subscribe if you want to get notifications for the Evil Dead stream. Thank you, BRT. I'm glad it sounds good. I've been keeping my phone away from my kids, so hopefully it's been working. Okay, so The Evil Dead 2. A lot of people know this book, or know this movie by Dead by Dawn. And that's what, from what I believe, it was advertised as. Nowadays in the trilogy, it's just Evil Dead 2. So, and Allie, no worries. We talked about Evil Dead the last 2 streams. So no worries. You can come back and hang with us on Wednesday. Wednesday I do a double shot of American Horror Story live streams. And on Sundays I do Ash vs. Evil Dead because it's my favorite show in existence. And guys, don't forget, if you want to put this out there on social media, make sure you tag stars. If you do anything regarding The Evil Dead or Ash vs. Evil Dead on social media, please tag stars. I want to make sure that they know that we are actually out there and we want this show to come back. So, yeah, Boyden, thank you so much for all the love. I appreciate it. Yeah, we are all perfectly okay here, guys. Thank you so much all again for I just appreciate it so much. And if the internet if the live stream kind of goes in and out, it's just because the internet, the wind is still kind of howling outside, and it'll rain really hard back and forth after a while. So the connection kind of goes in and out a little bit, but we should be good to go. So if you're having any problems, just refresh. So, Evil Dead 2. I really love it because in the first half of the movie, you really just get Bruce by himself. I mean, he kind of retalks the tale of sort of what happens in the Evil Dead 1. But it's kind of twisted a little bit. So that way it's only spoken with Ash and his girlfriend Linda. Scotty and Cheryl and all them, they are not in the sequel. So the sequel was actually made in 1987. So the first movie was shot, The Evil Dead was shot in the 70s, came out in like 80s, 81. And, oh, thank you so much, Allie, I appreciate it. So they came back 6 years later to do the sequel, and I am so glad that they did. This film was also written by Sam Raimi and Scott Spiegel. It was produced by Robert Telpert, and it stars Bruce Campbell as Ash. So, okay. One thing also that I will tell you guys, if you have the movies, definitely, or if you don't, you should go buy them. Please support the franchise. But there is in the special features, there is a actual audio commentary with Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, Scott Spiegel, and Greg Nicotero. Yes, guys, Greg Nicotero was the special makeup effects artist on this movie. So for some of you out there who are Walking Dead fans, yeah, Greg Nicotero did the makeup on this, which should obviously tell you because it was brilliant in this. So yeah, this one came out in '87, and most of the filming took place in Michigan and North Carolina, which a lot of the first movie was shot in Tennessee. So, they did different locations for this one, and they also had to redo the cabin since they redid locations. But it was really, again, this one is, I have to say the Evil Dead 1 is my favorite because, of course, it's the first. I have to say Army of Darkness is my second favorite, and then Evil Dead has to be the third if I had to make a choice. But again, So, in the beginning of this one, we start out with Ash Williams and his girlfriend Linda. Oh, BRT liked part 2 more than part 1. Really? That's awesome to hear. Well, I really liked part 2. Again, I really liked it because, again, so Bruce, Ash and his girlfriend Linda, he's telling the story of how he took his girlfriend to the cabin and he spoke the words in the book from the Necronomicon. The Evil Dead possessed her. He had to kill her. She did this really amazing dance in the moonlight outside the cabin. It was just so eerie and scary for me because, okay, so I probably saw the movie, if it came out in '87, probably came out on VHS like in '88. So maybe like '89, maybe '90, I saw The Evil Dead 2. Excuse me. So I had to be about, obviously, 12 years old. And that was about a year after I saw the first Evil Dead. And so when I see Linda in the moonlight dancing in the woods, you guys have to understand, too, I lived in the country. I lived in the country where if you looked outside and the moon was shining, it was clear as day. And it was so freaky because I could just picture Linda dancing outside, doing her little freakish dance after I saw that movie. So after I saw The Evil Dead 2, I refused to look outside my window at night in the country because I was so scared I would see Linda outside dancing in the moonlight. So yeah, that was just a great scene. The cinematography too in The Evil Dead 2 was just phenomenal. It was vastly different, obviously, than the first one because obviously cameras and techniques had evolved a little bit more since then. So they were able to work with a little bit more than what they had before. So AJ, hey, thank you so much. Oh, I'm so sorry you have a migraine. Oh my God, AJ, I've had those before and they are awful. So I'm sending you lots of love and healing, Karma, and I hope that you're feeling better. So I'm so glad you're here. And if you're not able to stay, don't worry. I'm just so glad you were able to stop by. Yeah. The story moves on. So after we get the whole thing with Linda and dancing, Ash beheads her and kind of chops her up. And we're in a spot where her head kind of like returns to him after he's like dismembered her and buried her. So he's sitting in the armchair in the cabin and the head falls into his lap. And so he takes the head and he takes it out to the shed and puts it in a vice grip. And in that shed, I don't know if many of you guys have noticed, but above the actual door of the shed is Freddy Krueger's glove. That was another homage from the Evil Dead gang to Wes Craven. So, okay, as we talked about in the Evil Dead 1, there was the Hills Have Eyes poster in the basement, which was the Evil Dead guys, their nod to Wes Craven in the movie. And Wes Craven gave a nod back to the guys, the Evil Dead guys, by putting the Evil Dead in A Nightmare on Elm Street. So it's the part where Heather Langenkamp, Nancy, is watching her television, and she's been trying to take these awake pills. And she's laying in her bed, and she's trying to stay awake, and she's got this scary movie on, and it's The Evil Dead. Hey, Salem Swamp Witch, it's so great to have you here, and I've been loving your Instagram. Guys, go check out Salem Swamp Witch's Instagram. She has a really awesome account. So, oh, no worries. No worries. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to thumb it up. Hashtag like Spike. I'd appreciate it. Okay, so Evil Dead 2. So we get such a great homage to Wes Craven in the movie, and like I said, he nods it back to the Evil Dead gang. They nod it back to him in this movie, and then in Army of Darkness, I don't remember if they did the same thing. We'll talk about that. So this episode, we're going to talk about The Evil Dead Part 2. We're going to talk about the first half, and then, of course, in next week's episode, we're going to talk about the second half, and then do the same thing with Army of Darkness, and then Season 1 and Season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. Because we are getting Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3, but the point is to do these live streams until Season 3 premieres, and then to change them to Ash vs. Evil Dead, the after show. And then to keep going live streaming after that, like I do with my American Horror Story videos. And I just want this show to keep going, so I want to keep live streaming to show stars and everybody that I'm very serious. I really care about this show. I'm passionate about it. And I'm going to keep streaming because I really enjoy it. Okay, so Ash puts his girlfriend's head in a vice and basically saws her head in half with his chainsaw. And it was just, oh my God, it was just so great. Then he goes back into the cabin where he has like a good, like dark comedy moment with himself. Oh, Jennifer Conley, I'm so glad you're here. We're talking about The Evil Dead Part 2. We're talking about where after Ash has chainsawed Linda's head in the vice, he is in the cabin and he's like having these moments with himself in the cabin, but it's like, it's funny moments too, but it's still kind of scary. So yeah, and if you guys, again, don't forget if you're enjoying the stream and like it, and subscribe if you want more. And then, of course, donate to my Patreon if you want to help donate to the prizes and keep the channel going since YouTube cut my advertising monetization balls off. What's up, Thomas Perry? I agree, Jennifer. This has to be one of the best scenes when Ash is actually in the cabin going crazy. And, like, I love the part where he is standing in front of the mirror and he's looking in front of his own face. And then he steps out of the mirror to grab himself. I mean, that totally tripped me out when I was a kid. Oh my God. I loved that scene. And I have to say that like the first half an hour, like 45 minutes of the movie is mostly just about Ash and himself. So Linda is maybe, I mean, she's in the first half of it, but he axes her pretty quickly. So yeah, I mean that's really great. So she's gone pretty quickly, and then he's just by himself in the cabin. Mary, what did YouTube do was so unfair? Oh, thank you so much. No, well, it's also because I have evil in the title because it's Ash versus Evil Dead. That's considered non-advertiser friendly. So if I can't monetize anymore on my videos, which has kept my channel going for this almost 2 years now. But since they cut it off and I'm not getting any funding anymore, it's been months, and my husband has been paying for my channel. And I feel so bad that I've got to do something. So if I can't kind of pick up where YouTube left off, I have to really cut my channel down severely and stop like streams and some videos, but I can still keep going, so we'll see. Yeah, so at the next point when Ash is totally tripping balls in the cabin, which is basically what I equivocate it to is an acid trip, which is a not great acid trip. These people show up to the cabin. Now, this is the daughter of Henrietta and the dad who invoked the spirits of the Necronomicon. And the ones, I guess it's her redneck driver and his wife, I guess are the ones, I just don't remember. darn it, either they found it. Oh, thank you so much, BRT, for the super chat. I appreciate it. They, I think she's with her boyfriend, and I think they meet together on the same road before. I don't remember if he's her driver. But anyway, the four of them go to the cabin. So while Ash is tripping balls in the cabin, these four are making their way to it. And then finally, when Ash has really reached the point of no return with his sanity, that's when the four of them arrive. And I really, again, I like the cinematography of these parts where the four of them meet on the road. The young wife is Blair from One Life to Live, and I can't believe, because when I was young, I had the time to watch soap operas. And I watched One Life to Live and Days of Our Lives. And I was like, yay, that's Blair from Days of Our Lives. I was so happy to see her in the Evil Dead movies. I thought she totally deserved, her own, like cameo in a role. Boyden, I had the VMAs on for a little bit while I was doing laundry and putting the kids to bed, but the hurricane's here, so we've all been kind of trapped inside the house for the past couple of days. So we've all been going a little crazy, and we just don't really have, like, TV time. We've just been trying to, like, play games and do other stuff to try to, like, let out their energy. Because having 4 kids under the age of 11 locked in a house with their parents for, like, this is, like, the 3rd day now. It's like when winter hit Texas, and then Frozen had ironically came out at the same time, so most of us parents were like stuck in the house with our kids while they sang the song of Frozen over and fucking over again. And we just wanted to kill them by that time, but of course we're not going to because we're parents, of course. But we were just so damn happy whenever school resumed because we were just going crazy because of the unexpected frost and having to stay at home with our kids all day. God, I hate the movie Frozen. I fucking hate it. Okay, so rant over. But yeah, that's what it's been like for us for the past few days. So we've all, thank goodness the house is big enough where we can all kind of like have our privacy and like our separate spaces. So it hasn't been too bad. And thank goodness school is not delayed. Our school is not canceled tomorrow. It's only delayed for a couple of hours. So yay, my husband is going to take us out to breakfast tomorrow. Yay. Husband Supreme, hashtag Husband Supreme. Just to, do something just to kind of get out of the house because I'm just so ready to send them back to school. Just like Ash was just ready to cut off his hand, his evil hand, and he was ready to just like chop it off in this episode. Yeah, that's me. So yeah, speaking of that, so during this whole time, Ash is going crazy in the cabin and his hand has turned evil. I love how like the little black streaks like show up on his hand, and I swear to God, there have been times at night when I was a kid where I was so freaked out by the Evil Dead 1 whenever Cheryl stabbed Linda in the foot with the pencil, and then all that black stuff came out of her foot when Ash went to check on her afterwards. I was so scared that I would just wake up one night, because I used to have like little leg cramps and feet cramps. I would be afraid that I would wake up one night and I'd see that. I mean, Ash vs. Evil Dead traumatized me in so many ways. So did Jaws and The Amityville Horror and The Exorcist. So those 4 movies, yeah, really did my childhood. And A Nightmare on Elm Street. There's that too. But let's see. Let me look at some of your comments because I see them scrolling by. So let me take a peek at them. Jennifer Conley says, I love how he did the whole bit by himself, like knocking things over with his head and all. I know, Jennifer, and they did some of that in season 2, and I loved that. There's a part where Ash is in the cabin all by himself, and like the evil is inside him, so he does all the stuff, like he eats the cinnamon, he drinks the hot teapot, and like he does all the stuff to get it out of him, and it's the same kind of physical comedy like he did in part 2. So Jennifer, I agree completely. That has got to be the best part of the movie. And I have to say, the second half of The Evil Dead is amazing, but the first half truly is my favorite. BRT says hashtag Bruce is amazeballs. Absolutely. Boyden says if my kids were singing Frozen all day, I would duct tape their mouth and their legs and hands to a chair so they don't move. Oh, Boyden, I know you wouldn't do that. Luckily, I'm old school, so like we took foil and like grounded it up in a little softball, and like we'd play. So we'd move the television, and our living room's big enough. We'd draw a line on the ground, like with a belt. Use a belt to like put a line in the ground, and we played dodgeball. You know, so there's a lot of things that I did when I was a kid when we didn't have technology, and so a lot of stuff that my brothers and I did inside the house when it was really crappy outside that I did with my kids. Hashtag my brothers are awesome. And it kept them entertained, and it kept us all from murderous thoughts and plots. The kids don't go to school. The kids don't go to school, don't they? Boyden, my kids do go to school, except there's one. There's one that's still young enough. She does not go to school yet. AJ, thank you. We are so kindred. Spirits. Jennifer says, why don't you take off evil on your videos? Maybe just put Ash or something. I'm thinking about it, Jennifer. But a big part of me just wants to say, fuck you, YouTube. I mean, if you just want to cut off my balls with monetization, I mean, what the hell? That's stupid. It's the name of the show, Ash versus Evil Dead. That's insane. So, one thing I want to tell you guys, when I was in Florida, I love to make fun of George Bush because I'm from Texas. So I had this picture of George Bush right next to a monkey. It's this little gray picture. I'll bring it on the next stream because I have it upstairs. And I put it on my desk at work. And they told me I couldn't have it. People would find it offensive because it was just humorous. It was George Bush making a face that was similar to that of a monkey, and they're side by side. It's a black and white picture. It was hilarious. It was just a joke. So they told me I couldn't have it in my office. So okay, I put it on my computer because it wasn't, or they told me I couldn't have it on the wall. So I took it off the wall and put it on my computer. They said I couldn't have it on my computer, so I put it on my desk. They said I couldn't have it on my desk, so I taped it to my monitor, or so I taped it like to me, and they said I couldn't have it on me. So anyway, I did everything possible until they finally told me that I had to get rid of the picture or lose my job. And I said, okay, fire me. I mean, come on, it's just a picture. I mean, seriously, are you really gonna fire me over something that's stupid? I was one of their best freaking salesmen. They weren't gonna fire me at all, and they didn't. So, but I still have it. I still agreed to put it somewhere where only I could see it, and that was inside my desk with my pens. So when I pulled it out, I could always see it there and have a good little laugh. So anyway, yeah, it's pride. Damn it, it's pride. YouTube wants to cut off my balls. I'm just gonna stay. I still have pride, damn it. So yeah, this, absolutely. So this live stream, we're probably gonna end it here in just a few minutes, just due for the fact that my internet and everything has been kind of funky. And so I'll probably end the stream here in just a little bit. But again, guys, I really loved these movies. I really... The one where after he has cut off his arm and Ash is just literally, he is at the brink of insanity, where the moose head, or the goat's head or whatever, is going insane. It's laughing at him inside the cabin. Everything is laughing at him. He's like, you know, going up and down, you know, it's just hilarious. And right at the brink of his insanity is when those four people show up. So, again, we will talk about the rest of the movie. But again, I just love these movies. And as far as I'm concerned, they bear fruit to discuss them and break them into half discussions. Because for me, if you want to break the Twilight Saga, you know, the last movie into 2 movies, and if you want to do the same thing with Harry Potter with the last movie, damn it, I'm going to do the same thing with my Ash vs. Evil Dead live stream when I talk about the movies. So again, my favorite for the Evil Dead trilogy has to be the Evil Dead 1 as number 1, Army of Darkness number 2, and the Evil Dead 2 as number 3. Although, if I really had to say, I'd say all 3 of them are just my favorite. It's just got to be my favorite trilogy, aside from the Three Mothers trilogy from Dario Argento. I love Dario Argento. He totally kicks ass. And his Three Mother trilogy is awesome, as well as his Animal trilogy. AJ says vamps don't sparkle. Boyden asked Mary, is there any TV show you'd like to see? I can't wait to see The Exorcist Season 2. That's going to be coming out. They already started to do an advertisement for it, so I'm really excited for it. And I'm starting to see so much advertisement for Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2, which, as you guys know, if you follow my Instagram and my Twitter, all at MaryGirl Moody, you would know that I went out first thing that morning, right as soon as I dropped my kids off from school. And I went to Walmart with my youngest, and I picked up my copy of Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 2. Same thing I did with, like, when Bruce Campbell's book came out. You know, obviously had to go get a copy of his book. Ended up getting the last copy at Barnes & Noble's. I'm so happy to see that because I want everything of Bruce and Ash vs. Evil Dead to sell out. Everything. Because, you know, I really, again, I love the movies, I love the show, and I don't mind the break for Season 3. As far as I know, they've already shot it. It's good to go. We're getting Season 3. It's either going, hey, Tammy, so good to see you, hon. So great to have you here. Guys, it was Tammy's birthday on Friday, so don't forget, if you're in the comments, hashtag happy birthday, Tammy. So we're definitely getting Season 3. We're either going to get it either at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to be streaming every single Sunday until they premiere that son of a bitch. Because I love this show, and I have to show my love by live streaming every single Sunday as a show of my love to the show. Yeah, I think it's getting a little late for Mary. So guys, if you would like a shout out, please put it into the comments. I know there's not many of us watching, but I don't care. I love talking about the Evil Dead. This is, again, my favorite show, and I will always talk about it. So next Sunday, we're going to talk about the second half of the Evil Dead. What happens when the four join, and what happens to Henrietta when you see her in the basement. Now, fun little fact, Henrietta is played by Ted Raimi, and that's Sam Raimi's brother. Sam Raimi is the one who wrote and directed Evil Dead 1 and 2, and I think 3 he did the same. I don't remember if he also wrote 3, I think so. Okay, I apologize. So, yeah, I love that. I got some trivia here for us. Also, Ted Raimi reprised that role in Season 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead. You know, I've got some really good information regarding the trivia, and yeah, I just can't wait to go over some of that stuff with you guys. So I will be back next Sunday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to be talking about the second half of The Evil Dead Part 2. Is it weird that I find Ted Raimi hot? Absolutely not, AJ, because he is. He was so hot as Ted Kaminsky at Season 2 because Ted was just such a douche. He was such a moronic douche that it was so funny. Hopefully that's not who he is in real life, because if he is, damn, that's hot. Yeah, I find Ted highly hotter than Sam. However, I find Sam more brilliant than Ted, so maybe that makes him hotter. I have no idea, but I don't know. Maybe you guys will tell me what you think. Mary, have you watched Anne with an E? No, I have not. Let's do some shout-outs. Shout-outs to... Anne with an E, it's a very good show. It's a remake of Anne of Green Gables. It's very good and old-fashioned, says Boyden. He's recommending a show. Awesome, thank you. Henry says Mary is Yellow Ranger, Tammy is Pink Ranger, and BRT is Red Ranger. Oh, okay. Let's see. Shout out to Thomas Perry. Shout out to Jennifer Conley so much for being here with us. Shout out to Henry Mills Chase. Shout out to BRT, my Tammy. AJ Wyatt, Boyden, and oops, rolling. Let's see if I forgot anybody. BRT as usual. And Salem Swamp Witch and Thomas Perry. Thank you all so much. Shout out to you guys as well. You are all so awesome. Thank you all so much for being here, guys. Again, if you haven't had a chance to, please go watch The Evil Dead. Again, the last 2 streams were about The Evil Dead 1, so we're going to be talking about the second half of The Evil Dead 2 next live stream. And then after that, we're going to be talking about Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness, and then Ash versus Evil Dead Season 1, Season 2. And so, guys, thank you so much for watching. Now, I want to remind you that Sundays belong to Ash, so Evil Dead live streams are every Sunday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, regardless if there's a hurricane. And we have a Facebook group called Ash vs. Evil Dead Junkies. Come join us there if you would like. And I'll put the link in the description, obviously. And if you want to help my channel, since YouTube cut off my monetization, I would really appreciate it. Donate to my Patreon and you will be rewarded for your awesomeness. And when Ash vs. Evil Dead Season 3 is released, I'll be doing another after show and I'm going to give out another prize. And it will either be Season 1 or Season 2, maybe both, whatever, we'll see how it goes, as the prize. But I will be giving away a prize this season again for Ash vs. Evil Dead. I normally don't do prizes for Ash vs. Evil Dead, but seeing as that my Patreon is doing very well, I would love to start giving back to you guys and start giving out the prizes for that. So thank you all again so much for joining. Again, these are my favorite streams because I love the Evil Dead trilogy. I love American Horror Story, absolutely, don't get me wrong. But if I had to pick between one of the two that would live on forever, it would be the Evil Dead streams. I would talk about that forever. You guys are so awesome. Thank you again for watching and for your support. And don't worry, guys, if you can't donate to the actual channel, even your likes, your wonderful words, everything helps the channel. So don't worry. Just like, subscribe, and give me a positive comment, and that helps improve the channel so much. You guys are so amazing. I really appreciate you watching my Evil Dead live streams. You were all amazing, and I love you so much. We will stay safe, and I will see you on Wednesday. And don't forget, tomorrow, Mondays are murder. Bye, guys.